Yes, Carrot Attack Podcast back again with myself, Daps. Keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff, all the time, every time. Yeah, liking, subscribing, sharing. I always get that all mixed up, but yeah, keep doing all that. Fix my AirPod. Look all right. Oh, so see. But yeah, so today I've got Sheffield United player Max Lowe on the podcast. Sheffield United left back, but playing that Sheffield United system, I don't know what to call him. So, but we're going to get into all of that anyway. As always, we're just going to have a little chat with him, see how things are going for him right now this season, see what he's hoping to get out of this season, and blah blah blah. Just gonna chat, you know me, chat a lot of rubbish, and people seem to talk back. So let me get him in now. Admit. Oh gosh, almost pressed me move. Yes, my bro.
What's happening, man? You alright?
Yeah, man. What's good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Chilling day off, so chilled off for me. What about you?
I'm good, man. I'm just working, and then gonna have a quick conversation with you. Got to make sure you're not concussed first, right?
Oh no, man. Don't. That was the longest week I had. All the concussion stuff, the protocols you have to go through, the balance stuff. My memory's crap anyway, but all the stuff you have to do in terms of getting back to training, that was a long process, but wasn't the best Premiership debut I could have had. But nah.
How long were you on the pitch for?
It happened 5 minutes in, and it only lasted like another 5 minutes, so it was quick, man. It's weird that I've never been concussed before. Like I ran into Ruben Loftus-Cheek, so I picked the wrong guy. He's a tank.
He's a unit.
And I felt all right. Then I just started losing my vision the longer I was on the pitch for, so I had to get taken off. Yeah, honestly. I couldn't see properly for like 2-3 days. Like I was still getting double vision. Couldn't look at the TV or anything like that. So
I feel bad now because I thought you just didn't fancy it when you ran.
I wanted it, man, on my debut. But yeah, it is what it is. We haven't played against City the weekend just gone, so it is what it is.
What I was going to say though was when it happens on your debut and that, I'm really okay with it, or is there that thing in you where you're like, oh, for flip's sake, I've really messed up here. He's given me my chance, and 5 minutes in, I've come off. Obviously, the bigger picture, that's not going to happen. But is that a thought in your head?
Oh, it was in the back of my mind as soon as I knew the situation I was in. But I think it was even at half time, the gaffer came and spoke to me and said, listen, don't worry, Lowe, you've worked hard, you'll get your chance again. But I was still a little bit concussed and I didn't know where I was. But that's what the gaffer's like. His management skills are top class. It's the best I've been around in terms of that. And he just makes players feel comfortable no matter what the situation is. So for him to say that during the game was big for me, and it kind of calmed me down for the week coming up, that I knew once I was all right, I'd be back in the team kind of thing and get my chance going forwards.
Talk about him later on, but we might as well just do it while you mentioned him. So his management style, like you said, he's really good at man management. What else has really stuck out when it comes to Chris Wilder?
Well, my initial thoughts going to Sheffield United in general was, right, I'm going to be playing against the best players in the world. And I need to be on it every day in training. But it was actually, he made it so easy for me going there and just adjusting to his style of play, playing in a more advanced position at left wing back. He just simplified the game for me, and he's done that with every new player that's came in. I think it's a no-brainer that he gets players in at the club and they go on to do great things, and he's got a track record of doing that. It's because he just simplifies the game. He's made it so simple for me. So we played against City the other day. Although we lost 1-0, we defended well. He gave me the task of just keeping Mahrez and Kyle Walker quiet, which isn't easy, but I tried my best, and we worked on it all week leading up to the game, and it just makes you feel prepared and comfortable going into whatever game, you're confident. So he's spot on with everything he's done with me so far. I can't really pick out anything he's done bad. So yeah.
Talk because of how you guys play. I've had Dids on the pod as well, and he was talking about the way you guys play as well, and it's such a it looks complicated, but you guys obviously know what you're doing. And was that something that took a while to get to grips with, exactly how everyone moves and interchanges, like, because you get the centre backs going up and whatnot?
Yeah. Well, that was the maddest thing, like seeing the centre half on my side overlapping me in training. I'm thinking, nah, this can't be right. For the first week, I was struggling to get my head around what he wanted us to do as a team, and it's just so free flowing. Although 5 at the back, people think it's quite a rigid formation. Going forwards, he says, take the chains off, do what you want. He hasn't got a problem with me running into centre midfield and going and getting the ball. It's all new to me, but the more I do it, the more confident I feel. And like you said, Dizzy was on about it. All the lads have came to me saying, listen, going forward, you can express yourself, do what you want. Just make sure you get back in if we lose the ball. It's as simple as that. And it hasn't took as long as I thought it would for all the new lads that came in to adjust to the formation and the style of play. But I think we're all, be honest, like, I love playing in the formation. It gives me a chance to get further up the pitch and get shots off and be a bit more creative. So it brings that side to my game as well.
Game was against City, so you couldn't really do. You got pinned back quite a bit. And what I was going to say was, every single time, yeah. But just how quick is he?
He's honestly. So me and Jade and Bogle were laughing about it because we always said when we was at Derby, like, the day I come against Kyle Walker, I'm going to knock it past him just to see how quick he actually is. I didn't get the chance to on Saturday, but this guy, man, he's a different gear. Like, even standing next to him, he's a big guy. Like, I didn't realise how big and solid he is, but it doesn't take him a long time to get from 0 to 100% as well. Like, his acceleration's there. And I think I've learned with watching Premiership games on TV, comparing it to playing against these guys, Kyle Walker, I respect him a lot more now because I've seen what he can do right against me, and I realise the guy's got no weaknesses, no flaws in his game. He's scored a great goal. He's getting up and down. It's hard to beat him because of his pace, let alone his positioning is great. And then I've even spoke about, like, Kevin De Bruyne in midfield, like Sterling on the other side. They've got a strong team, and it's, for me personally, at the age I'm at, it's just good to be playing against these guys and seeing where I'm at.
Against go and approach defending against him with all these chops and everything?
The gaffer literally, he told me before the game, do not let him come inside on his left. It's easier said than done though, because I was trying to show him down the line, and he's got, like I said, he's got that chop, the dribbling manipulation he's got. He sucks you into making you believe he's going to go in on his right, and then he comes back onto his left, so you've just got to be wary of it. But I mean, everyone's seen the goals he's scored when he was at Leicester. Obviously, his time now at City, like, he's so good at sucking defenders in and coming back onto his left, and he just whips it top in. So that was in the back of my mind all the time. Like, if he's going to do me, he's going to have to do some magic on his right foot. So, but they're good challenges for me. I like them 1v1 battles. So it was good to play against him because he's a world-class winger as well.
On your team, forget the opposition now. Like, is there anyone? Because obviously, Premier League team, all good players, but you come in and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's actually.
Yeah, when me and Jaden trained for the first week, we were chatting, saying, "Oh, this guy's sick." There was 2 standouts to me: George Baldock, the right back. He's rapid, his delivery is good, defends well. Then there's a centre mid, Sander Berg. He pulled me the other day. I didn't realise how young he was. I think he's like 2 years younger than me, but the guy is massive, centre mid. Everything we do is through him. If we're struggling, like, he can get us up the pitch. He gets us playing well. He keeps everything ticking. He's one of the quickest guys in our squad as well, and he's deceivingly quick because he's that big. You don't think he can move, but the guy can shift, man. He's got another gear ahead of all us lot. So I'd probably say Sander's been the standout player just because of his all-round game. He can do everything.
The moment, I don't know, was it first time? To a corner, like running to like a dead end, and he's somehow managed to get through everyone and then get across, and nothing come from it, obviously. But good player, good, nice, strong player, tidy as well. So whilst we're on your team, let me just address the elephant in the room. What's gone wrong, do you think, for Sheffield United this season?
It's tough for me to say just because I wasn't there last year, but I feel like recently we've had tough fixtures. Obviously, we've had Liverpool, Man City, and we've got Chelsea before the international break. But from what the gaffers said to us, in those games in particular, we've been playing well, and we played better this season against Liverpool and Man City than we did last year. So I think it's just, at the start of the season in particular, there were a lot of little things going our way where there's a lot of VAR incidences that didn't really go our way. And I think it's so hard for referees to deal with that situation, but that's another conversation. Then we had a couple of sending offs as well. And we just need a little bit of luck to go our way. And I feel like once we get the first win, we'll go on a long run, like the boys did last year, because from what the lads that were there last season have told me, they've said, like, once we get the first goal, we're confident we go on and win the game. We just haven't had that yet, so we need to start the games better and find that little bit better quality in front of goal, and I'm sure we'll be fine. We're confident, we believe in ourselves because we've done it last year.
Relegated or anything, I don't think it's bad like that. It is, you know, from the outside looking in, you're just looking. You changed, do you know what I mean? And you're just kind of, you just see where things have gone wrong. I think as well, obviously I don't know if you can speak on this, but having every week, to me, but I don't know anything in it. So I don't think that helps. Maybe if you were to win against Chelsea this weekend, it's Chelsea you lot playing, right?
Yeah.
If you guys were to beat Chelsea, and like you say, you might go on a run. But I do think, but again, I know nothing. Two up top, you know, together, like just pick your two. I know who I would personally like to see up top for you guys, but week in, week out. But then again, you guys have good forwards, so it's probably hard for Chris Wilder to.
It's a good problem for him to have, but I also think it's a bad problem because the squad's that strong in terms of it's hard for him to pick the starting 11. Like, there's been a lot of games going into we don't know the team because they're all honest lads. Like, we all train well, and especially if results aren't going our way, you're kind of looking at the gap saying, are you going to play me or am I getting dropped? Like, it's all the unknown, but I think we are lucky to have a handful of good strikers. Like I said, Didsey, Berkey, McBurney, Brewster, and Skip, Sharpie. Like, there's proven goals in whoever plays up two together. So it's just finding that consistency and having the confidence. But it's not, we don't want to put all the burden on them. Like, the wing backs, we've got to create chances for them, get good delivery in the box. It's got to be goals from midfielders and the centre backs. So it's a team effort, but yeah, I think it's healthy competition. So we're not too stressed about it at the minute.
Yes, I don't care with it. I think McGoldrick, Burnley should be. It's a problem. Like, against, like, I support Arsenal, obviously. When you played against us, I can't stand them.
Yeah.
Against us, but generally speaking, good. But he puts himself about proper.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And McGoldrick, I'm not just saying it because he's been on the pod or whatnot, but I'm doing the link up like he does.
Yeah.
So it just seems to get you guys ticking a bit more. So that's for me anyway. But like I said,
he just brings something different to our team. I mean, to be fair, I don't know how I forgot about Didsey. You know, when I first started training, like, his technical ability, the way that he was just one of the hardest players to get the ball off. And he loves dropping into the pocket and turning and getting us playing. So he's inventive for sure, and he's got the experience that we're probably lacking up top. So we have got a lot of young strikers as well. So, and you mentioned the Arsenal game, his finish was class. Like, it was something out of nothing really. I remember it was his left foot and he just whipped it, and then it got us back in the game. So that's what we need a bit more of maybe going forwards.
Next game against Chelsea?
Yeah, hopefully I play. If not, whoever plays, like we just need to get the win. That's where we're at the minute. We're not really scared of whoever we're playing against because we perform well against Liverpool and Man City. So Chelsea's going to be tough. So we're looking forward to it. They play five at the back as well, so it'll be interesting to see how we match up with them. But we're confident. We just need to get that first goal, and I'm confident if we do get the first goal, we'll defend solid like we always have done, and we've got a history of doing that. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Not you guys. You've obviously made a step up now. Do you still have that thing in you where sunk in now? You're just kind of going with it.
I'd probably say the Man City game got rid of that emotion, thinking, "Oh, this is an environment where it's new to me," and now I feel comfortable in training, in matches that I deserve to be here. That's why I got the move. The gaffer believes in me. More importantly, the lads have took me in really well, so I feel confident and pretty easy going that it's just a game. I know it sounds silly, but it's a game of football. This is what I love doing, so I've got nothing to be worried about. What's the worst that can happen? We lose the game and we play again next week. So that's the way I'll go into it and just try and do the best I can, you know. That's how I've always looked at football games. So I try not to stress out too much about it, but the bigger the game, the bigger the occasion, it does get nerve-wracking. But I think it's helped in a way not having fans, because it's, for the new lads moving, it's just been like you're playing with the boys, you're playing with your mates on a pitch against some of the best players in the world, and you're just trying to stick at it and do your best. So, but then on the other hand, I can't wait to play at Bramall Lane with the fans, because the gaffers told me about the atmosphere there, and from what I know about the Sheffield United club as a fan base, it's massive. So I really want the fans to come back, because that will give us an extra push as well.
Go back. I forgot to pick up on it. VAR. Championship, obviously, there's no VAR,
Yeah.
right? What's that, you know, having to get used to? Is it weird for you, or you just?
It is weird, because it's just little things. Like a lot of the handballs in the first month of the Premier League, you're thinking, no, it's not handball, and they're giving it. So you're naturally seeing. So like, I've been playing against defenders, and they're trying to stop the cross but having their hands behind their back. And in the Championship, I've never seen that. And I understand why they're doing it, but it's not natural. I wouldn't. Nah, I wouldn't. But I'm looking at them. These are like experienced Premiership players. I'm thinking, should I be doing that? And I spoke to the gaffer, and he said, nah, if it hits your hand, that's the way it is. It's handball, but you're defending in a natural position. Just don't go back and try and save a shot or whatever, do something mad like that. I don't know what I think to VAR. It's weird, because I think certain situations the refs get it spot on, but then it's still a game of an opinion. I think when you slow stuff down, it looks a lot worse than it can do in match speed. So it's a difficult one for refs. I prefer it without it, in terms of that's how we was brought up watching football. If the ref gets the decision wrong, it's like, right, he's got it wrong. Everyone makes bad decisions, but it's in the moment. They don't get to look back at it. And I just think it kills the game a little bit. So it's a tough one for the refs.
It's a decision that is actually going to VAR, because when we're watching it on TV, obviously, you know, they tell you, oh, VAR, just having a look at this. Are you aware on the pitch, or is it when, you know, he brings it to a hold, and then, do you know what I mean? You know,
it's literally the waiting game. You're waiting to hear what the decision is, because the ref doesn't even know who's doing the game, because he's just waiting to hear from the people watching the video back. That's why I think I like the screen thing, where whoever's the referee in the game can go look at the screen, because then it's his opinion. But I think it's hard for the ref to deal with it where it's someone else's opinion. Then he's going to get pelters from the players and the managers, because it might be the wrong decision. But as players on the pitch, we don't have a clue really. Like the referee's saying, no, his team are looking at it, and we're just waiting, hoping it's not a penalty or it's not a red card. And you just crack on with it, whatever the decision is.
From early that Sheffield United were going to come in for you this summer, or did you have your ear to the?
I'm not going to lie, it was a quick turnaround. From that pre-season, I wasn't even looking anywhere else but Derby. My focus is on playing as many games in the Championship. My goal has always been to play in the Premiership, but I didn't think it would come around so soon. I thought I'd have to do another season at Derby, try and get promotion again, as Derby have done for the last 5 years. And once my agent made me aware of Sheffield United, it was a no-brainer for both parties, I think. Financially for Derby, and the opportunity for me and Jayden to go up the road on the M1 to Sheffield United was a no-brainer, to play under a great manager with a team that did so well last year. It was an opportunity I couldn't turn down. And I'm truly grateful to have that opportunity. And it shocked me at first. So I'll be honest, I didn't have that much Premiership interest at the time. And for a team like Sheffield United to come in for me and Chris ring me up and say, "No, I want you here. I want you to be one of our players. And you're not just going to be comfortable here. You're going to be pushing to play." And that kind of gave me another boost of confidence going into it, thinking I've got nothing to lose. It's an opportunity that I can't turn down, and it's not far away from home. It ticks all the boxes, so I'm just going to go for it. And I'm loving every minute so far. It was crazy. It happened in the space of, from there being interest to me actually being there, and it was shorter than a week, so it was really smooth as well. Everything was done, dusted, then back in with the boys, training, doing all the fitness stuff.
You know, so you're aware that they're onto you and everything, but sign it, because obviously anything can go wrong with these, or just Premier League.
It was weird because when I remember the whole day of my medical. I was so drained after when I got home. So it was just so intense. You're seeing the manager, and like you said, you're hoping nothing goes wrong because you hear so many stories about the bids getting accepted, but then either personal terms don't get agreed, you fail your medical. I've never had to do a medical before, and it was weird because Jayden was there with me as well, was doing it at the same time. I mean, the medical side was doing leg weights, obviously going through all your injury history. We had to do a run. It was all old school stuff, and that's how the gaffer wants it to be. And me and Bose were blowing on the first day, and we knew it was going to be tough. But then the medical side was sorted. Then we had our personal terms to agree. But then there was stuff on Derby's side, so we had to stay. I think we went to Sheffield at 10 o'clock in the morning. We ended up leaving around 5 o'clock. So it was a long day of just waiting to get it signed and then be a Sheffield United player. But it was a good experience, but I was drained after mine, so I just wanted to play football, and it was a long day.
Never done a medical before. I know for Derby, obviously you come up through the youth system, so that's a given. But when you went on loan, don't you have to do medicals for that?
I don't know if it's different with loan players, but all you'd have to do was, I never did the fitness side to it. They'd check your injury history, check if you've been struggling with anything in the last 3 or 4 months, and it would literally be as quick as a conversation. They'd be like, "All right, sweet, go train." But with Sheffield, it was when I turned up, it was so you've had surgery on your hamstrings. I had a big operation when I was 18, and it's a big scar. So whenever the physios are looking at it, they're like, "Well, what's that?" And I have to explain that to them, and then they speak to Derby about it, and then it's all sweet. Then it was even the running to see how fit we are. That's where I knew this is a good club. You can't hide here. It's not going to be easy. I just remember me and Bose doing the runs together on one pitch, going against each other, and the gaffer was just bang in the middle on the top, just watching us run. I was thinking, this is next level stuff. But it's what me and Bose thrive off. It's competition between both of us. We've had that at Derby. But when I was on loan at Shrewsbury and Aberdeen, the medicals were pretty quick. I got there, just literally spoke to the medical team, spoke to the gaffer, then I was training the next day. So yeah, it was a big change up going to Sheffield and doing that.
It's basically just testament to how well in yourself that you played, that you had a good season last year.
Yeah, I felt it was frustrating because we didn't make the playoffs at Derby, but I felt for me individually, I played a lot of games, more than I expected. Played right back for the first time of the season because Jayden was out. Then I went to left back. When Rooney came in, I think that gave the team a massive boost. And that was surreal. Like for the first month, I was just staring at him. It was weird.
That because it's one thing in the Premier League seeing like the De Bruyne's and whatever, but you're at Derby in the Championship, and then Wayne Rooney walks in.
It was honestly because I grew up supporting when I was a kid, supporting Man U, watching him and Ronaldo. And when he came through the door into the change room, I couldn't stop just looking at him, thinking, "What is happening here?" And I remember his first game. Like I started his first game for Derby, and it was just like he lifted everyone's levels up because we didn't want to mess up and not play with Wayne Rooney. That he had that it factor, and I think for the first 2 months, like we had the best form in the league, and it was down to him just being in the team and making everyone's standards lift, even in training. Like he trained every day, wanted to play every game, even if it was against a non-league side in the cup. He wanted to play. He loves football. He talked to whoever it was just about football, his stories he told against like the Invincibles when he was at Everton, coming through, like they're unbelievable.
In this podcast, yeah. And I don't know, can you remember the game that ended the Invincible run?
No. Was it at Old Trafford? Yeah.
And they won, and he got a penalty, yeah? Rooney got a penalty. And to this day, he definitely lost that. And that one still haunts me because that ended the unbeaten run. But,
yeah.
You know, no complaints about him. But he's obviously not the same player he was of 10 years ago, obviously. He'll just stick out like straight away.
His passing. He's even said, like, because there's a lot of young boys at Derby. He first said, I used to be rapid. We all used to laugh thinking how quick he's saying, like, quicker than me, quicker than Jay, like, even the quickest in the squad. He'd be like, yeah, I'd breeze past all you lot. And but his passing, I mean, the way he's dropped into the like deep midfield role shows how much of a good footballer he is. Like, from going up top to number 9, he can do the 10 role. Now he's playing like holding midfield. He can play anywhere. His footballing brain's a different level, but his range of passing, how he can just get it, and I can be running at full speed and he'll just drop it at my feet, and it was a nice luxury to have at the time. So I'm just blessed to say I played with Wayne Rooney. You know, it's something I can tell people in the future and look back at it and be proud of. Yeah, it is. Well, at Derby, it's been weird. Like, so we've had Rooney, we had Lampard as a manager. Ashley Cole was there for a little bit as well. And me being a left back, looking at him, yeah, that was probably the one time where I was starstruck. When people say, like, "Oh, when were you starstruck?" It was when he was at Derby, and I was alone at Aberdeen at the time. But when I came back, he had a really good in-depth chat about me, about how he's watched some of my games up in Scotland and what he thinks I can improve on. And I just took it all in like a sponge, really. And he was really good with me. And then Lampard as a gaffer was another one. Like,
oh, yeah. So you're saying about Ashley Cole?
It's just mad because me as a left back, I literally, if I could talk to any player about how to play the position, it'd be him, because he's pocketed some of the best players in the world and how he can get forwards. Yeah, that's how.
The last 20 years for me.
Yeah, I'd give him that title. I always say he's the best defender ever. Like, I just look at him in that way and remember him for some of the wingers he's dealt with, my games played for England, and then for him to call me and have a chat about how I was doing at Aberdeen when he didn't really need to was it was a really nice touch from him. And it's just it was just a nice conversation to have with a player who's played in that position, and whatever he said, I wanted to soak it up and try and use it going forwards, and I feel like I have done. And if I can have half the career he's had, I'll be happy, man, because he's done everything. He's won everything as well. So
I hear that, but you didn't answer my question, mate. Passing, Rooney or Hudson? Who would you say has got the better passing? You try to dodge that one.
It's tough because, do you know what? It's not tough. The way Hud's pings a ball is so pretty. Like, I have to say, honestly, it's effortless. He could, even when he shoots, he like just pings it into the top bins, and you see a lot of lads that will give it their all and try and whip it past the keeper. I'd have to go with Hoods, and I think a lot of lads that have been at Derby or played with Hoods would say the same thing, because it's both feet as well, effortless, and because he's got that much power, he just generates it easily, and he can just. He's a different breed, man. I haven't seen a player like him, how he just pings a ball. So I'll probably say Hoods.
Yeah, and watching football, I'd say Huddersfield all day long, and it's so funny because he talks like he plays.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He's just doing that, and then he plays like that, and like you said, he doesn't give it like a welly. He just just let them off, man. So good, man. Yeah. I wish I could pass a ball like that. His weak.
So do I, man. No.
His weak is probably better than my strongest.
Yeah.
But
he practices. That's what he does after training. He literally, no matter how hard the session was, he'd get a bag of balls and practice his left foot, right foot. He'd get me running up and down, and he'd want to find me on his feet, and he wouldn't leave on a bad one. He'd be one of them, like, have to get it right before we go in.
Yeah.
And they're the little things you take out as a young lad, thinking, right, if he's doing it, what should I be doing after training?
Yeah, no, and a lot of people just obviously see you guys just come out on a Saturday, whatever, and play the game, but they don't actually see the work. And for someone like Huddleston to have had the career he's had and still be doing it, it just goes to show that the work never stops.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, I can't remember who said it. It might have been Hoods or Martin Waghorn, like, no matter how good you do it, the better you do, the harder you have to work, basically. And that's kind of what Hoods has done. Like, the older he's got, he said the harder he has to work, is keeping his fitness levels up, his weight down. He works so hard in the gym, does swimming after training, before training he's in early. Like he's dedicated, man. That's why he's played at Spurs for so long, and he's done so well.
Yeah, hopefully he gets back into the game very quickly. All right, so Phillip Cocu.
Yeah.
How big of an impact did he make on your career? Because before he came in, is it safe to say Frank weren't having you? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, no, spot on. He gave a deal, to be fair, Frank Lampard, but I think that was more security in the club's hand. They didn't want me to leave out on free. You know how it works. And went to Aberdeen. Didn't know anything about Scottish football. Did really well. Loved my time there. Came back. Cocu was the manager. I did not want to be there. Hands down, didn't want to be. I wanted to look elsewhere because I thought, I've got no chance of playing here. I've only gone up to Scotland and come back. I can't see myself playing. Me and him had the heart-to-heart. Literally, I think it was on his second day. He was like, where do you see yourself this season? I told him straight up, I can't see myself playing here because I didn't last year, and I'm only getting older, so it's not like I deserve these opportunities just because I'm young. And he laughed and he was like, no, you're playing because of what you did last season. I've seen it. I don't care what league it is, and I've seen you in training yesterday, let alone you can play here. He was a great coach, Cocu. Wants us to play all the time. He's not afraid to make mistakes at the back when he puts his hands up if it happens, but that's the way he wants to play. He's honest with it. It took a lot of lads a long time to adapt because his training sessions were so technical. It kind of blow you away. But he's done really well. And he had a tough first year at Derby. When I was there, a lot of stuff happened away from football, which he had to deal with early on, and he dealt with it well. And I feel like the lads owe him a lot because he's done a lot for the club, especially in the first 2 months. He had a lot of stuff to deal with, man. And he's a good coach. So he's a very good coach. And
he's from the school of the Ajax.
Yeah,
he's from that, and can you tell and see that in his training sessions?
Oh yeah, he does. Twan and Chris are his assistants, and they do some stuff it's like they're like military passing drills, but if you get it wrong, they're going mad at you. It's simple stuff when you think of it, but when you're doing it at 100% match speed, it's hard. And a lot of us, it took all of us a couple of weeks to get it right, and he'd get frustrated. And then they do a passing drill where all of them are trying to block the passing lane, so you have to basically play off the cuff and try and just get around them.
Yeah.
But it's good. That's one of the things I find interesting wherever I've been at, different managers' mindsets and training sessions alone. It takes a while to adapt to. So Sheffield, it's really intense. there's not a minute where I'm not blowing. Like it's just it's ridiculous tempo wise. Whereas at Derby it was a bit more slower, technical, and fine tuning stuff. So you can see where he's learnt all his trade from Ajax and PSV. Sorry, and they all say that, like the Dutch, the style of play, it's cool, slow, expansive, 3-3, and that's what we built on last year. And I know they changed it a little bit this year to 5 at the back. Derby had, but he was very stubborn in the fact that 4-3-3 it works. You have to fit the play that way. So it was interesting.
So you still look out for their performances and results?
Oh yeah. I spoke to Martin Waghorn this morning because he whipped in a free kick against Forest. Told him to do another one tonight. I'll be watching it tonight because I love seeing all the young lads do well as well. Lee Buchanan at left back, he's been doing great. Jason Knight, Max Bird, they're all good players, man. It was good because I was there for the first season when they broke through. Now some of them are playing every game, so it's just good to.
Has Colin Kazim-Richards played yet?
He's came on a couple of times, I think. Yeah, yeah, he looks a beast, man. He's a big guy.
Yeah, I remember years ago. I was at a pre-season, and his uncle was my manager.
Yeah.
So he used to come down for pre-season, and he was a beast back then. He's a player though.
Yeah, he's had a good career, man. He's had some nuts moves as well. He's been Turkey, Greece, he's been everywhere. But I think that's where Derby need to find the right situation because we were very young yet last year, and now the gaffer's brought in like Curtis Davis back playing. He's a great leader, great centre half. Kazim-Richards, Martin Wagpool, Rooney. I think Derby needed a lot more senior players because we were very young overall last year. So
yeah, what do you make of their season so far? Because I wasn't really up to date with their situation, but I did see that he was under pressure for a bit, Phillip Cocu. What do you make of that?
Naturally, the way Mal Morris is, he wants to win. We've been trying so hard to get promotion. For the last 5 years I was there, we were always so close, lost in 2 playoff finals, and last year we missed out on the playoffs, and this year the boys haven't started off great. But so naturally he's going to have pressure on his back. But from the games I've watched, they've been unlucky. I think in the last 3 games they've been 1-0 up and ended up drawing 1-1 to late goals as well. So it's not like the performances are horrific.
Yeah, it's
just that they're not staying on it for 90 minutes basically, and they know it doesn't take a lot to change that. And I think Mel's switched on enough as well to know Cocu's doing the right stuff and they're playing the right way as well. More importantly,
100%. What I did want to talk about though is an incident that happened whilst you were at Derby with a BBC radio Derby, I think it was.
Yeah.
Where they've said whatever they've said, and they basically said that he has said that the black lads have to. He wants to see them just work that much harder and whatnot. It was just such a silly statement. And when that happened, what was your thinking? Because you came out and spoke about it, which I loved. Do you get what I'm saying? Because a lot of the time, players can't come out and actually speak about things. Not that they don't want to, but they generally can't. What was going through your mind, and was it a no-brainer to you that, no, I have to say something?
I remember it was a game I didn't even play. Jaden was on the bench as well. And Jaden came on, he was at fault for a goal. And that's obviously spurred him to go off on one. Craig Ram's just gone off on one about Jaden's attitude. Then he's mentioned me, even though I wasn't playing. And then he's mentioned Morgan Whittaker, he's got another young black lad. And then he said, it's like all the young black lads. And that's where I felt like he just crossed it. It's fine criticising me as a footballer, I don't care. Like, you can say I'm crap, say I shouldn't be playing, shouldn't be at that level, that's fine. But then to generalise all of us into one conversation when it should just be football based, he crossed the line. And it's a shame because people are uneducated. That's all it is. And I think the more it gets spoken about, which it has done a lot, the better. especially for the next generation coming up. They need to understand that everyone should be treated the same. No one's different in terms of being pointed out for doing something wrong just because he's black or white. They should be treated differently. Like that's just not on at all. So when I heard about it, a lot of fans, to be fair, from Derby were contacting me on Instagram. Twitter was exploding, and I was thinking, what's this? Dad told me. So a fan sent me the audio message, and I was just like, what?
And they
surely,
yeah,
I listened to it over and over again, and I thought, you know what? I took 5 minutes because I was angry at the time. I just took 5 minutes and thought, all right, how should I react to this? I just thought social media is the best platform to let everyone know, like, I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. I spoke about it with Jaden as well, and he thought, no, do it. So it kind of gave me the comfort to speak my opinion on social media so everyone would know, like, it's not on. And the club backed both of us really well. The club were really good with it, and it was a difficult one for the club because he's played for Derby. He's been on BBC Radio Derby for a long time, but it is what it is. I don't think you can be outspoken to a level where you're picking out someone's colour for no reason.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm glad that they got rid of him. And I know that that's not for you to say, and I don't expect you to say that, but I'm glad they got rid of him because too many times you hear about these incidents, or I don't even have to hear about it. I hear it myself. Do you get what I'm saying? And they might not mention the word black, but when it comes to speaking about black players, there's this negativity about it. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm happy that you spoke out about it. I'm happy that, you know, they got rid of him because there was action. Too many times there's no action. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It is what it is. You know, Black History Month has just finished, and in the Premier League they're still kneeling. I'm not gonna lie to you. What do you really feel? How do you really feel about the kneeling down still?
I feel like first of all, it was good. I thought it was powerful. But now I feel like people are just doing it for the sake of, it's just like part of it now. Like, right, we've got to kneel before a game. And I feel like at first people knew why we was doing it, and now I think it's just becoming a thing where, right, we've got to kneel before a game. People don't think anything of it. Mm-hmm. Who was I listening to? I think, I can't remember if it's Sol Campbell, like Black History Month. It shouldn't just be a month. Like, this needs to be something that's year for life, like forever. So the kneeling down thing, it was good at the start, but now I think of how bad things were, especially in America, it's all over the world, like how bad certain situations have got. Like, we need to do a lot more.
Yeah.
As everyone needs to do a lot more. So I think you've got to look at people like Raheem, who's done a lot. He's outspoken. Marcus Rashford. These guys are doing it all the time. They're not just doing it when something bad happens. I think it needs to be consistent. So with the kneeling down, I know a lot of clubs said they're not kneeling down before the game. I think it was QPR.
Yeah.
Solis Ferdinand was saying, like, oh yeah, it's similar to what I've said, like, people are just kneeling down for the sake of kneeling down now. There's no message towards it. So I think it's a hard one, but it's tough because you listen to a lot of people, like I said, Sol Campbell, Michael Richards, all these guys that are speaking out on it. It's good because they're on Sky Sports. They've got the platform to say it. But then when we're, as players, we're kneeling down before games and we're just thinking, like, this will be forgotten about because everyone watching the TV will be not thinking anything of it and then wait for the game to start. So I think there's different ways maybe we can do it going forwards.
Yeah, I obviously feel like it should be, like, done with now because, like you say, it's got to the point now where in the beginning it was like, you know what, Black Lives Matters, you know, we're fighting against racism and whatnot. Whereas now, like you said, it's just a thing that happens before the game. So you do it, okay, go, you start playing, and it's totally forgotten about. But is there actual real change happening? Do you get what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. And like you said, you've got people like Raheem, you've got people like Marcus Rashford doing things, but behind closed doors, what are they really doing? And I'm more about the action, you know, where it really matters, because you know, things like you know, being spoken about how you were, spoken about, or things that, you know, like commentary or whatever, or how the media portrays players, whether it be, you know, the treatment that Pogba gets in regards, in comparison to someone else. Do you know what I mean? Those are the things that need changing. I don't think kneeling before a game is actually really doing that. So, I'm with you on that one. It's funny though, because you spoke out, but yesterday I took a look at your comments, and obviously most of the comments are like in support or whatever.
Yeah.
But no matter what you do, no matter how you say it, no matter how direct you are, people will always find a way to find the negativity. And I saw someone saying in your comments, "Oh, like why are you talking about it? Just to stick to football." And I said, nah, this can't be. And I looked, there were a couple others, and there's so much learning and unlearning that needs to happen.
I remember, like, even on social media, I see it, I just ignore it. Like, I used to get really worked up about it and try and, like, not nibble, but sometimes I'd nibble and reply back. I don't do any of that now, but I've seen those comments. And then going back to the incident, I think it was a couple of weeks after, me and Jaden were warming up before a game. One of the Derby fans come over, started cussing us, saying, why have they got him sacked? Fucking, he was right. This is a Derby fan. I'm thinking, fucking hell. And Curtis Davies steps in and told him, like, do one, basically, in a more but it's just, it is nuts. It's just people don't understand, and that's what it upsets me, because I don't know how you can be uneducated about the situation and how to deal with things if you need to voice your opinion. Like, anyone can say what they want, like, but there's a line that can't be crossed.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dwayne Holmes is doing a lot. He's speaking out a lot at Derby, and
I'm putting him on. I'm bringing him on one of my podcasts actually.
He'll be good to have on, because
the other one. Yeah, the other one.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Oh, because he reacts to people on social media, and he's not afraid to answer back.
Yeah.
Where fair play to him, like, he'll tell a fan to do one if they're wrong. So I think there's ways you can work around it, because I know certain fans just want you to react and get caught out saying something you shouldn't, but Dwayne actually replies in a respectful manner, but tells them that they're wrong, basically. So
yeah,
it is funny when you reply.
I'm just happy that we're in a time where we do have social media where you can actually talk back, and because I think a lot of the criticism that people labelled at players that have come before, that they didn't really speak out, but it was harder when, you know, social media wasn't there. Do you know, like it's easier now. Like you said, the best way for you to go and do it was to just go on your Instagram, put out the post and whatnot. And I'm just happy that people speak out about it. And the only way things will change is if people are allowed to actually express and talk about things. Do you know what I mean? You're always going to get the idiots who just want to be wrong and strong and just, you know, have a chip on their shoulder, funny enough. But, you know, keep doing it, man. And I'm not saying fight the fight by yourself and, you know, do it in a way where it takes away from your football or whatever. But, you know, when you need to speak out, you know, I just want you to feel like, to know that you can actually speak out and people do listen to you. And there are a lot of people who look up to you guys. Do you get what I'm saying? So it was important. It was important. So we're going to finish this by telling me what your hopes are personally for the season and for Sheffield United. What are your targets or hopes for the season?
Our targets this season are just to do better than last season, I think. With how great it went, and the boys nearly making Europa League would have been massive for the club. And I think we've got to have that confidence going into this season, doing the exact same thing, like playing the way they did last year. I think, why not? We've brought in some great players this year. The squad's probably stronger than what it was last year. That's what the gaffer said. So he's saying, why can't we do it again?
Yeah.
And for me individually, just playing as many games as I can and improving. I feel like I've improved just by training, let alone the game. So I'm just buzzing. Every game I'm involved in, I'll be happy and I'll be blessed to play against whoever it is. If it's Burnley away, Man City at home, it doesn't matter. Like, I want to play. So the gaffer knows that, and the most important thing is picking up results for the short term now.
Yeah, you can't be looking forward to Burnley away. I mean, no. I'm not that you're not looking forward to it.
That was my actual debut, Burnley away. It was 1-1. We lost on penalties in the cup, but it's weird to everyone saying, "Oh, Burnley away is horrible." But I've played in the Champ way. You're playing against Millwall, Stoke at the time. Obviously not now, but like Millwall, where you play some brutal games and where the ball's literally in the air for the whole game. And I think Burnley ain't that bad because I've done it also in terms of playing long ball football.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really think anything of it, but so I did enjoy it actually.
Yeah, no, I just don't. Burnley's just such a horrible game when I look at it. It's, and I'm not saying that I don't. Why is that playing? Technicals, but yeah, I'm not saying that Burnley aren't a good team or whatnot, but all of that stuff, and they're just horrible to play against. McNeil will get the ball, dash it in.
Left foot, yeah.
You've got, what do you call him? Barnes and Chris Wood.
Yeah, Wood, yeah.
I remember last year, Arsenal played them, and Ceballos, I think it was his debut.
Yeah.
And Ceballos played well and everything, but I remember him coming off and being on the bench, blowing, and he was doing that. He comes from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And, they play the ball, and it's just like that. And yeah, as a defender to play against that, it's just long. So anyway, good luck to you when it happens. With McNeil and Chris Wood is definitely going to peel off to you. Chris Wood is definitely peeling off to you, just so you know.
Yeah, he will be. And that, to be fair, like you're right though, as a defender, you'd rather play against a team that plays well and keeps it in front of you than that sticks it on you and you have to run in behind. So I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Like naturally, any defender hates running back to their own goal. So
yeah, at the end of the day, it is effective for them. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, man, thank you so much for this.
No worries.
I'm going to do for like another 5 minutes when I stop this. I want to give you a little trivia. But yeah, thank you for this. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's been good to chat to you, man.
I know you're busy, walking dogs and everything. But I know you're busy walking dogs, but I appreciate this, and I'll be looking out for your results and performances and critiquing you on my podcast many a time. So yeah. I look forward to it. But thank you for this, man. And anything you want to say to the Sheffield United fans who will obviously be tuned in?
Can't wait for you to all be back in at Bramall Lane, man. I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm itching to play in front of 30,000. So hopefully we'll see you all soon.
Excellent. You did well there. That's a great media trained one. But yeah, guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing. Me, Max Lowe, we're out.
No worries.